I have on the other line Father K from an undisclosed location in East Africa. You just came from the island of Zanzibar, where there's a great deal of Muslim conflict going on. Can you tell me what caused this?
Yeah, we've been in the midst of unrest here pretty intensively for the past year or so. Yesterday, the Islamic Sheikh, who is the government believes on the mainland, is responsible for leading this uprising movement that has targeted Christians, Christian churches, and really destabilized the whole island, was picked up by the governmental police and brought back to the mainland, to Dar es Salaam. And his movement, called the Wamsho, they're now retaliating. They want him back. They want him released. And they are waging violence, a campaign of violence, until he's released.
His name is Pondo, and he's been a cleric on Zanzibar for a while now. How long ago has he been preaching a radicalized Islamic religion?
You know, Wamsho was registered as a political movement. It's supposed to be sort of it started off, officially as Zanzibar for the Zanzibaris, and they do have their issues with the mainland, but there's always been an undercurrent of radical Islam within it. Also, it's foreign backed, foreign funded from the Middle East. So it's a very complex, complicated movement. There are different forces within it. It has sort of murky ties to the opposition political party as well. So, but you can see that it's been moving more and more towards a posture of violence as time has gone by, and it's escalated to this point now.
Now, Islam is the majority religion in Zanzibar, and Christianity is by far the minority. What is happening to the Christians on the ground now with this violence breaking out?
Well, Christians are about 1% to 2% of the population. The Wamsho came to, the word was out, they were coming to kill the Anglican bishop. So we had to get him and his family to safety as well. In retaliation, they also attacked. In the past, they've only burned Pentecostal churches because the Pentecostals tend to be sort of openly evangelical. The new twist here now is of late they have attacked Lutheran and Catholic churches, and now today they vigorously attack the Anglican Cathedral, which is also the largest tourist attraction on the island. The Zanzibar's GDP is 80% is tourism. The cathedral slave market is the largest tourist site, so they're really trying to hit the island economically as well. So that's a new thing. And as we were this morning, we heard they were attacking the guest house and the cathedral itself, and as we were leaving, we heard they were back at it again, attacking the cathedral. So that's the first time this has happened. It's a very new phenomenon, and again, pretty scary that we had to get our bishop and his family off the island.
You were able to escape by plane. You can also ferry back and forth to the island. Are most Christians currently leaving the island, or are they just economically unable to escape?
The Christians basically live in fear of the whole Wamsho movement. They're terrified of the prospect of an independent Zanzibar, because the only thing they feel keeps them safe is the mainland government. They're the most, but we're only 1% to 2% of the population, so we're vigorously opposed to the independence movement. But what can we do at 1% to 2%? Directly to your question. The average Zanzibari, particularly your average Christian, is very, very poor. So, they certainly can't afford a plane. And, tomorrow we're going to help get some money just to our bishop here to keep him afloat. With his family here, even the ferry is very expensive for them, but the ferry port is right off of the main area where the violence is going on, so it would not be accessible. You couldn't get down there if you wanted to. Certainly not as a Christian. But they're very, very scared. They're terrified right now. I just saw terror on their faces that I've never seen before. It was really startling.
Now, how can Anglican TV viewers support Father K? I will imagine I'll provide contact to your bishop here in America, and he can get funds to you.
Yeah, if we can go through Bishop Bill Atwood, the International Diocese. Matter of fact, Bishop Bill is in Nairobi right now. He'll be hopefully coming to Dar to see us on Saturday, and that would be a tremendous blessing. We've got the bishop and his family. We're not sure. We were told that basically all the leadership after the bishop, we were probably the second target. So we had to move, but there are also other Christian leaders on the island who are going to be targets. And again, when you have money to begin with and having to sort of get somewhere, it's like almost Hurricane Katrina in a sense. We went through, you have to go to a strange place and you had no access to money and you didn't have any money to be. So that's quite a hardship. And then I just don't know what the carnage, what got burned. We don't know what's been burned and what the damage to the cathedral is. So we will have to assess all of that when we get back. Right now, we're just staying alive. We're trying to keep roof over our heads and food in our mouth and make sure everybody is okay and assess the situation, and then we'll move on from there.
Now, what was the primary reason for having a ministry in such a large Muslim country?
My ministry, our ministry here, our serving in Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting time, an interesting days. The slave market cathedral is the site where slavery was in all of East Africa was abolished, and it was the work of Anglican missionaries primarily, and David Livingstone. And so it was the site. East Coast slavery went on for 8 centuries, so significantly longer than West Coast slavery. No slaves from the East Coast really came to the Americas. They all went to the Middle East and Persia. And so it was a much longer running slave market. And it was David Livingstone put the call out for missionaries to come and work with him and combat slavery in about 1863. 1873, pretty much the whole first wave of missionaries that came died. Their graves, they're buried at St. John's Anglican Church in Mbweni, but they won the day. Slavery was abolished in 1873. We have, it's a international site of conscience. It's also a reminder that we have more slaves in the world today than any other time in human history. So I use it as a platform not only to commemorate what happened there, and this great victory for the cause of the gospel, a reminder that we have a huge problem today that needs combating. Zanzibar, East Africa, has a significant human trafficking problem as well. So a big part of the ministry is bringing awareness to that while supporting the tiny Christian presence there that's vibrant and plucky, and they're oppressed, but they're trying and they're important there.
All right, Father K, not your real name. We're going to post this video on Anglican TV today, and hopefully get some support, first of all, for prayers for your safety and for the Christians on the ground in Zanzibar. That's the immediate need, that there be peace brought in this, and that the Zanzibar government can deal with radicalized Muslims right now, and bring peace. Hopefully taking Panda off the island helps.